All right, welcome back, everyone. This is the FloTrack podcast, NCAA Championship Week here in Austin, where Gordon and I sit right now. I'm Kevin. The aforementioned Gordon Mack joins me. Gordon, good afternoon. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. How was your weekend?
It was good. Got to spend Friday with you. I know that's before the weekend, but we watched some Florence Diamond League together. Got to see a world record.
That was fun.
You were happy to see it, but you were also a little upset because you had seen the previous world record in that event.
I had.
And now you realize that accomplishment is not as significant.
I can't walk around the streets of Austin saying I saw the second fastest 1500 ever.
I mean, you could. You'd be right factually, but nobody would care.
No one cares.
Because now Faith Kipyegon.
And now I have to tell everyone I saw the fastest one on the internet, which isn't as cool as saying I saw it in person.
A couple announcements before we get going. I know you have a surprise. Are you doing your surprise now or later?
Surprise at the end.
Okay.
You want to do announcements? But I was going to say one more thing about the world record. I guess we're going to talk.
We're going to talk about the world record in a second. I want to do announcements. We're doing a Saturday show. Saturday, 10 a.m. Central, back here. The 75% of the way done through NCAA Spectacular.
100% done of the men, though.
The men, 25% of the women's competition to go.
50%.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Go ahead. I messed that math up. Man, I messed.
Okay, it's not as strong as you.
What are we in? 1 minute in, and I already
know, right?
screwed it. Okay. We're doing a Saturday show.
Saturday, 10 a.m.
On the FloTrack YouTube page, FloTrack Podcast YouTube page. And you can also, we'll put that one up, audio version. It'll mostly be recapping what's already happened. We're not going to jump in too much because on Monday we'll have our normal show. Also, two other things that I wanted to get to. Haven't had a chance to do it yet. Shout out to our friend Jason. Now, Jason, if you remember him, internet coach guest a long time ago, 50 years old, training for that Masters 100. Sent in an update a while ago, May 21st. And the update was positive. And I was like, gotta read this on the pod. He got down to 1298 in the 100.
Ooh.
He's working his way down. His goal was to get faster, but he had time to go. So before I had a chance to read it on the show, an update 9 days after that, after my latest update, went to the track and was pushing as hard and fast as possible out of the blocks and popped groin injury. Nats in 7 weeks, and I may be watching from the sidelines. So that's a bummer. I should have read it.
He blew a 3-2 lead.
Well,
3-1 lead.
I wonder how bad it is. We need a follow-up here.
Yeah.
On how bad it is. Because we said the one thing, got to avoid injury, but we also said get after it with the block starts.
So is this a failure on the athlete, or is this a failure on the coach?
I take a little bit of responsibility for it.
We got this guy hurt.
It sounded like he was prepping well. He was progressing nicely. He's getting towards his goal. And also, when you use the word pop to describe something going wrong with your body, it's never good. But I want an update on that. The other one, Harry had been writing in to answer your question, slowest reaction time in history, because we saw a couple.
Did you run sub-11?
Yeah, so he looked it up. We're not even sub-11.
For people who don't know, Leah Hobbs ran. It was Leah Hobbs, right?
Yeah, it was Hobbs. That's how the discussion started.
In the street meet, she ran a fast sub-1100, but her reaction time was ridiculously slow. And I was like, no one has ever had that slow of a reaction time and run that fast. Because typically, if you have slow reaction time, you're not that great when it comes to the actual full 100 meters.
Yeah.
But she was like a unique unicorn in this one race. I was like, has anyone ever had that slow of a reaction time with that fast of a result?
Well, of course, Harry was on it. Fraser Price had a slower start and faster time at the 2011 pre-classic. She was plus 2.7 out the blocks and ran 10.95. And then he found one this is 2021 in Walnut, so Mount Sac. English Gardner, 0.67 reaction time. That made me think that might have been a typo, 0.67, but still ran 11.29. He said for the standard 0.15 reaction time, that could have been a legal 10.7. So I don't know what was going on there. That seems like a strange
Is
odd
English Gardner the unofficial fastest woman ever?
So then he followed up again. He did. He looked at Olympic and World Championship finals in the straightaways.
Harry, man, he's
he was cooking. Slowest reaction time, global outdoor short sprint final, 0.294. Linda Ferga from France. I saw it. It was funny though. I watched the race. She does get left in the blocks, but you don't look at it and go, that is the slowest one in history. Yeah. It just looks like a normal slow reaction time. But shout out to Harry for giving up the stats. Let's get into the show.
Moral of the story is if you want to run fast, have a faster reaction time.
Yeah, it's tough to recover from those.
But not as fast as Devin Allen at Worlds last year.
Exactly.
If you're too fast, then it's illegal, which makes no sense.
Exactly.
It's illegal to be fast in track and field sometimes.
Yeah. Man, we're getting some comments in the YouTube stream about the audio. We all good on the audio? Oh, someone says, it does sound unusually open-airish and echoey. Very descriptive. All right. We'll keep going. We'll keep
going.
pushing. Maybe it's because Gordon was going, hello, hello, hello.
No, I don't know.
Gordon's actually outside.
I'm
This is all done through CGI. All right.
I'm AI.
And he's your favorite player.
He is.
It worked out well. Kipyegon. Man, we were there to see that. What are your thoughts? It's been a couple days. First woman to break 350 in a 1500. And we knew that she was capable of it. But then you go back and you watch the race, you look at the splits, it's still mind-boggling how fast that race was.
Yeah, she looked so smooth in that final 150, 200 meters, where she was pulling away from the world record time, like, light tracker. Because people were thinking, like, I don't know, like, is she going to hold on to it? And then she started pulling away, and it was like, it wasn't even close. Typically, world record attempts, it's close. You're like, hey, are we going to be, especially in a mile type race, 1,500-meter type race, there's not much margin of error. But she could have screwed up a few clicks here or there and still had that record comfortably. That's a lot of syllables.
Comfortably, yeah.
Comfortably.
Yeah, she was crushing the lights on that last lap.
Crushing the lights. It's a new phrase.
Yeah. What was her lap? She was 61:28 for her third lap. And then her final 400 was 58:81. And again, she's been she's been at 350 before. She goes out and she pushes these races. So she has a lot of experience going for it. And this just felt like everything coming together. She said she was surprised that she was able to do it. And I don't know how much of her training indicated she could do this. They did set the lights for that speed. So that makes me think she at least thought she was in range. But, 352, if she runs that, we're like, oh my gosh, what a run by Faith Kipyegon. But totally different conversation, just a couple seconds faster.
Which kind of threw me off. How can you be surprised that you broke the world record when you went into a race with world record pacing?
That's exactly my point. Maybe, we've seen a lot of races that are world record attempts that aren't actually world record attempts. This was the opposite. We didn't know it was a world record attempt. And then we're looking at those splits get clicked off. We had 2 rabbits, which again, that's usually a dead giveaway that something's up. And there were 2 really qualified rabbits. That's also a dead giveaway that something's up. But I'm a huge believer in her, but you're still just waiting for physiology to take over in that third lap. It's like, no way she can keep this up. And then you're waiting for it to happen in the fourth lap. But she ran it as if she went out in 72, the way she closed.
She ran it like it was like a 355, 356 race.
Yeah, or like a 405 race, really.
Maybe
like
even that, yeah.
Like how hard she was coming down that stretch. So, yeah, she's the first one into 350. Again, I thought it was going to happen eventually. It just caught me a little off guard because there was no hype around it. But that's probably on that's our fault for not just anticipating something quick every time she runs.
Well, she was, how close was she to the world record from last year? She was like 0.02 away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She had knocked on the door before. We just didn't get the big announcement ahead of time that, this is a world record attempt.
Yeah.
That's why it caught me, by surprise. And people are saying, go, all this stuff. Well, she already was the GOAT. 2 Olympic titles, 2 world titles. She already had the resume that nobody else had. Now you look at all the times, too. Not just this one, but that whole top 15 list is littered with Faith Kipyegon's name.
So in track and field, we have the unbeatables. You have the Mondos, Sydneys. I forgot her name in the triple jump.
Rojas.
The Rojas. Krauser, but Krauser he can lose at Kovacs.
Yeah.
Krauser technically I wouldn't put in that category. I think it's Rojas, Sydney, and Mondo and Kipchoge, I guess.
Well, he just lost.
Okay. Maybe not Kipchoge.
Who is unbeatable?
It's Mondo, Sydney, and Rojas. Could we put Faith in that category?
She's been in that category. The only question is, could a fresh Sifan Hassan match her? Because we've seen that recently. Kipyegon wins more than she loses, but Hassan has beaten her. And Hassan just ran a 358, but she's also 218 marathoner now. Yeah. So I would say yes.
So she puts the Mount. That's the Mount Rushmore then.
Of unbeatable people right now?
Faith, Mondo, Sydney, and Rojas.
It's weird to not put Krauser in there, but yeah, he does have a recent
loss. Because Kovacs is so good.
Yeah, and Kovacs. Yeah, all credit to Kovacs. I don't know.
I think that's the list.
I think Kipyegon's there's no weaknesses there because to get on that list, you can't really have any weakness. Tactically, she's good, and she's obviously good in these pace settings.
She was quoted, someone was she mention the word marathon.
Yeah. People were really quick to say what's next. She talked about the 5,000 in Paris and then eventually going to the marathon. That's so far down the list. I want to see how low she can get this. I think she could probably take it down another notch. The cool thing about a potential matchup with her and Hassan, if it did happen, they would just push each other to that record. They would try to one-up each other the entire way around, and that's how you could see Kipyegon lowering it even more. Because the pacing was great, but she obviously still had to run a lot of that by herself. I mean, the finishing margin between her and Laura Mir, who's great, by the way, great, but so far back in this race, because when you run 3:49, no one's going to be with you.
Go to the next event.
Yeah. Also in Florence, the men's 5, which...
So we'll tell Amanda, it's not that photo you have up there. It's a different link. If you see, it's not highlighted blue in the
Oh, my bad.
show.
That was my fault, Amanda. That was my bad. Yeah, we're pulling up some results here from the men's 5,000, won by Mo Katir in a fast time. But forget the time. This was just a fun race because there were so many people involved very late in the race. And they were going quick, mind you. They weren't going slow. But the quality of the field was such that nobody was getting drops.
I mean, it was the best runners in the world in the 5,000 without Jakob, basically.
Yeah, it was here or there. You could add probably 4 or 5 people, but it had a lot.
4 or 5.
Of it.
You probably could add only just. I think you could argue that Katir, Kajelcha, and Grijalva plus Jakob, that's like the main medal contenders.
Ooh, okay.
I know we're going to talk about
come
Katir.
on. You got to put Cheptegei in there. Come on.
Chep, the guy who got kicked down by Luis Grijalva?
Yeah, that happened last year. Not Luis Grijalva, but he lost in Florence before. And
I don't know, man. I'm not looking at Chep the guy as some, like, I know he's the world record holder, but look in this race, he doesn't look like he's the top dog right now. The top dog is
of course
Katir and Jakob. We saw them do their thing indoor. Katir getting the best of Kajelcha. And I think Grijalva, man, we were talking about it. I was, at least. I was like, it wouldn't be funny if he won this. And you're like, nah. Like, he held his own. He led around like 3K.
Mm-hmm.
He was still in control. You think there was a moment where he was like, all right, the big guns are coming. Grijalva, it's not going to be able to match the speed of a Cheptegei and a Kajelcha. But he got third here, and it was a strong third. It wasn't like, oh, you got luck. Like, Grijalva is in the mix to medal this year. And if he continues at this trajectory, Grijalva will be, I mean, I don't say it, but he might win a gold medal in the next 3 years.
Whoa. Okay.
He got 4th at Worlds last year.
Yeah.
He gets 3rd in this race. And these are like the best of the best. There's not like, oh, you got 3rd in a weak field. This is the best field that he could be in.
Yeah.
Grant Fisher got 11th in this race.
Yeah. I mean, big run look at all the personal bests in here.
Yeah.
Just top to bottom. Kincaid got a PR. Klecker got a PR. Fisher was 12:56 and got 12:56.99 and got 11th. I wouldn't panic if I'm Fisher. I don't think people should panic if this is just going to be a different type of race and we're going to see at Worlds, and also we're still pretty far away. The margin, he was there. It wasn't like he's getting his door was blown off in this race at all, too. But no, I'm with you. Like, Grijalva, if you thought Worlds that's like the high end and he's never going to reach that level again, this just proved that that's not the case, that he can be up there. Doing it on the day is hard because you've just explained how deep it is. So it's not a guarantee that he's going to be there every single time, but he's at least shown now on 2 occasions that he can do it.
Yeah.
And he was leading. He was not running scared. He was not hanging on and like kicking for a 3rd place finish at the end. He was like, I'm trying to put myself in the best position to win this race.
I got 3 takeaways from this race.
All right, good.
First takeaway is Luis Grijalva is the real deal, and I'm going to be all in on my Luis Grijalva stock for the rest of his career. That's take 1. Take 2, Woody Kincaid's kick, man.
We were joking about it because he was off the back, and you're like, oh, man, Woody's out of it. I was like, that's exactly where Woody wants to be. Now, it didn't get him to the finish line in first, but he passed.
He ran just as fast as everyone else at the front, maybe even faster. I'm not sure exactly what his last 400 split was, but he was like in a 12th or 13th place, far off that front pack. He kicks all the way into the top 6 or 7, whatever. Yeah. But if Kincaid can find a way to not fall asleep in the penultimate lap and the 3rd to last lap, and put himself in the mix, Kincaid's kick can match anyone.
What if he miscounted the laps one time? Would that actually be good for him?
So we should tell him that the race is 1 lap shorter than it is.
Someone should just yell from the sideline.
You got to go now.
For doing insane. Yeah. Usually that's very bad for people.
But for Kincaid, it might work.
Might work. Yeah.
Mike Smith might.
A 400 would be a long way to go thinking you're already done, but He clearly's got it left. What was your last takeaway?
Last takeaway is, could Katir be a sleeper Ingebrigtsen destroyer?
Destroyer, no. He's not beating Jakob this year, I don't think. No.
You sure?
Yeah. He's got a similar profile, though, in terms of success at the 15 and the 5. I haven't seen anything to knock me off the thought process that it's
I don't know, man.
Jakob
I
and
feel
everybody
like there
else.
might be a situation where we could see Katir. I mean, if Whiteman can
You just
do
said destroyer. That's what's
maybe
it's
not
a little
destroyer,
aggressive.
breaker, kryptonite. I don't know what's the word. What's the proper
Stopper.
superhero stopper?
Mm-hmm.
Problem? Will Ingebrigtsen have a Katir problem?
I don't think he has one currently. I don't
Will we
think
be
it's
saying that in August? There might be a situation where we'll be saying Ingebrigtsen has a Katir
It's
problem.
not a. Oh, we might.
The same way
we
as
might.
Grant Holloway has a broad belt problem.
A broad belt problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a little more head-to-head success there. All right, let's throw up Fred Curley. Let's talk men's 100. Just a professional run for Fred Curley. Just gets another victory.
Yes. He was asked about why he hasn't really put up a fast one yet, because you see some like Omanyala, Lyles, Coleman, they've all run some of them when nated, obviously. But right now, Curley's he's just running 9.9s. And he's consistently running them, but he hasn't run a fast time. He's just winning. He's staying undefeated.
Yeah.
And he was asked, like, why aren't you're getting wins, but you're not running fast? He's like, yeah, well, it's not about running fast now. It's a long season.
Yeah.
You got to be consistent. It's about just going through the process and staying consistent and building up to light up that fast one when it matters most in August. Like, he's like, no one wants a world record. I guess Faith Kipyegon does, but he's not trying to break the American record in the 100 in May or in June. He wants to try to do it in August or September.
He only needs to run faster than the next place guy. And I thought that the questions were funny, too. Just like, hey, when's the fast one coming? And honestly, yeah, he wants to get the world record and get the American record. I get that, but if you're beating everybody, what does it matter? Not just now, but later. You need the fast time later because you assume everybody's going to get quicker, so you're going to need that 9.8 or 9.7 in your pocket to be able to cross the line first. But he's getting wins and he's racing everybody. I'd be more concerned, or I think it'd be more of an issue if he was running against B and C tier fields and he was running high 9.9s, but he's not. He's running now against the best people he can compete against, and he's still winning.
I will say this. I was doing a little bit of some research. And this is an athlete who last year I got a lot of crap for saying he wasn't A tier. I was saying he's kind of like the second tier because he's coming off of the suspension, the whereabouts failure.
Mm-hmm.
But I low-key believe if Curley is to lose, I said his floor is now second.
Yeah.
I think the one person who would beat him is Christian Coleman.
Explain.
So, first of all, they've only raced a few times. They've only raced 3 finals against each other. And they were Prefontaine in May of 2022. Actually, no, they only raced 2 finals.
Mm-hmm.
Prefontaine in May of 2022 and Worlds in July of 2022.
Okay.
So, basically, Coleman's rookie season after coming off of the suspension, a rust buster of Prefontaine. It was like he got third to Curley getting second in a Prefontaine Classic. And then Worlds where obviously Curley won and Coleman got 6. But you look at Coleman's season right now. Coleman is actually running low-key, I think, having a better 100-meter season right now than Curley. Despite Curley being undefeated.
Yeah, and that's not right.
It is right.
Coleman is lost. He just got third in a race. That's not accurate.
No, it is accurate when you look at the times, though.
I don't care about the times.
Coleman's been running faster times.
I don't care about the times.
Akeem
Blake's been running faster times. Is Akeem Blake running? Is he having better season?
I'm just
than Fred
saying,
Curley?
Curley's been beating people, but he hasn't been beating Coleman. Curley has not beaten Coleman in 2023. I'm just write this down. This is a statement. Now,
this makes no sense. I thought what you were gonna say is Coleman's the guy to beat him because his start is so good. He could put him under pressure early on, and maybe that can shake things up. I thought you were gonna say that, but you're just like looking at times and making this conclusion.
No, I'm looking at the whole broad picture. I mean,
looking at the whole world.
I don't have the best stats and bullet points to explain my position right now.
Well, I gave you some, and
I'm kind of just shooting by the hip.
Yeah.
But last night I was diving into the numbers and I was looking. I was like, okay,
okay.
It's like Curley's racing everyone, right? He's beating Omanyala.
Yeah.
He's racing. He's undefeated, right?
Okay.
He hasn't beaten Coleman yet this year.
I know.
And I have a feeling that he's not going to race Coleman at all until Worlds.
So you think Coleman's 2?
I think Coleman is 2 right now.
Okay, because, we had Omanyala 2, and then he lost, and you had Akane Simbine number 2. There's a curse at the number 2 spot.
Yeah, I think Coleman is number 2, and I think Curly's a favorite. I think Curly's going to win, but if Curly does lose, it's going to be Coleman who wins. It's not going to be anyone else.
Curly is definitely the favorite. There's definitely a gap.
Yes.
The question is, how far of a gap is it to number 2, and who is in that number 2 spot?
Number 2 is Coleman, and if Curly falters, it's going to be Coleman.
Yeah, we need to see more from him. I know
you're going to see. Coleman's going to win USA's because Curly's going to scratch the final, I bet.
So you have Coleman over Lyles, Bracey,
Yeah.
Bromell,
Yeah.
Baker,
Yeah.
Charleston,
Yeah.
all that?
Yeah.
Bednarik if he runs.
I'm telling you, I'll put Coleman's going to win USA's because,
DC Knoll says Gordon shooting from the hip. The hell you say?
I'm just telling you.
Add a character. Yeah, I don't know if you thought that one through.
Put this out there. Coleman is the guy. You're going to look back on this moment and be like, you were right.
So he won the 100 in Jamaica, but the big races of the day came in the men's 2 and the women's 100. I'm talking about from the Racers Grand Prix.
Hold on. Before you go to that, one more last thing. You say Coleman's lost. Coleman is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Has run 7 races and has only lost 1 time. And it was that 3rd place finish at the LA Grand Prix. So he's 6 for 7.
Okay.
But that's all right.
But the whole point of this is he hasn't raced the guy you said is number 1, and you're saying he can beat the guy's number 1. There's just no evidence of that.
I'm just saying. He's
Curly's 7 for 7, whatever he is, 6 for 6, 5 for 5.
I don't know, but he won the Racers Grand Prix, which we're about to dive into here. But I'm just saying.
Well, I didn't talk about that one. That one wasn't the men's 200 was where it was at.
Yes,
because Lyles goes 1967. So Noah Lyles just crushes this 200. This is what you want to see. We've seen him in some hundreds this year, but goes out 200 outside lane, just completely dominates this race. Afterwards, had a nice meeting with Usain Bolt, which I thought was pretty cool. I think it's also cool because Bolt doesn't go to many meets. So in Jamaica, he's already there. Nice little handshake and embrace and photo between those 2 guys. They've had some back and forth in the past, which was always entertaining. But yeah, Lyles, 1967. We're tracking similar to where we were last year in terms of his potential in the 2. And it just makes me think, for Lyles, it makes me think, whatever goes on in the 1, we're almost grading him on the 1 because we assume the 2 is a done deal. So we're looking at the 1 and you're like picking it apart and being like, oh man, where is he going to fit in on the U.S. side of things? Can he make the 100 team? If you put that aside, the guy's still the best 200-meter runner in the world by a good margin. And we kind of forget about that because we're waiting for him to add on things, but he's still Noah Lyles in the 2.
Is this the fastest he's run this early?
I think I saw a post. Yeah, it was the fastest. I mean, I'll look it up while you discuss.
Yeah, I think he's not really giving us a lot of holes to poke into, right?
He did run a 200, I should say, Tom Jones in mid-April. He ran 20:01. 20:01.
Well, I mean, this is probably one of the faster he's run this early, right?
Yeah, I'll go back and
look.
Like
last year, how fast did he run? How long did it take before he ran 19.6?
He ran 19.7 in Doha, slightly wind dated.
So June.
19.6. Yeah.
So he's on pace.
Right on schedule. Okay.
On pace for what he did last year, which was pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
So I think, he is heads and shoulders the top guy. It looked a lot better than it was because, I mean, Darnell Hughes was the number 2 guy. Like, I don't know, is Hughes really a...
He's more of a 100 guy.
More of a 100 guy. Yeah. So kind of the field made it look fast, but it's still 1967. It's 1967. But it's not the fastest time this year. You know who has it?
Oh, it's what's his name?
NCAA's.
Yeah.
Robert Gregory.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. I mean, what else do you take away from that?
Not a lot. Just that, again, we can separate the 1 and the 2 stuff. Because he could be 6th best in the U.S. in the 100 and still be tops in the world in American record shape in the 200. That's the reality of it. And that's for 2 reasons. One reason, the U.S. 100 is just that good and that deep. And the other reason is he's just always been a stronger 200-meter runner. And just because he's not tip-top in the 100 doesn't mean he's not going to be running all-time fast times in the 2. But, I mean, that said, I want to see Knighton race against him. I want to see more Knighton. He looked pretty good.
Knighton's going to be running on FloTrack.
On Tuesday. Yeah, Bidgosh, and we saw him last week too.
Yeah.
Run pretty well. So, I mean, that's the thing you want to watch Knighton v. Lyles. Also, I mean, you want to see Curly in there. Bednarik, we're not discounting him either. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. Oh, the women's 100, I want to talk about that too. Shericka Jackson, 10:78. She just keeps piling up the impressive times. Had the 100-meter loss in Doha, but with Fraser Price not running, and Elaine Thompson, hurrah, running sparingly, Jackson has really emerged as the early season one to beat in these events.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson is showing consistency. This is what I took from this. One, Jackson is in 2022 shape, where she had a phenomenal season. So she's not falling off. She's not going crazy. She's not going to another level, but she's staying at an elite level of I'm the one to beat. But it also showed that she carries win is actually pretty damn impressive.
Oh yeah, it was impressive at the time.
It was an impressive time, but the more that Jackson continues to be solid, shows that victory was a legitimate victory.
Of course.
And then ultimately, I keep on seeing Jackson in the Jamaica headlines. You know who I don't see in the Jamaica headlines? The other big two.
Yeah.
You don't see Shelly Ann. You don't see Elaine Thompson hurrah. I think it's safe to say that the same way that the idea of a men's USA sweep in the 100 it's kind of slowly dwindling as these other athletes, Simbene, Omanyala, Blake, and Seville, all these guys. I think you can say the same thing for the women in the 100 meters and 200 for Jamaica. I think Shelly Ann is not 100%. Running. She's not even running. She's yet to even run this season. Elaine Thompson-Hurrah isn't doing anything special either. There's going to be, I think there's a legitimate chance we could only see one Jamaican medal in the women's 100 and in the women's 200. Like one each.
Yeah, still early, but...
It's still early. I mean...
It is a similar comp.
It is 2 months away from Worlds.
Yeah. You do realize, though, how...
2.5.
How fragile that whole sweep thing is? It goes from, it's a foregone conclusion. Yeah. It's an afterthought. U.S. men, the Jamaican women, boom, boom, boom. And then just a couple things change, and then it looks like a distant possibility. I would say right now, I'd still say the U.S. men are a little bit worse off than the Jamaican women, but that's
kind of wild.
It's very close.
I mean, Elaine Thompson-Hurrah is not running well, and
that's
Shelly Ann just literally isn't running.
You're basing it all off past performance, which I'm fine doing that. Like they've done it more than that U.S. trio has done it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
But like, when should we start putting up the concern meter for Elaine and Shelly?
Well, I think they're national championships. Now they have buys and things like that, so it's harder to figure out. But then you're getting into 1 month.
National championships are coming up.
The other thing, though, also you have Richardson, you have Hobbs, you have Toulouse, I know Asher Smith just scratched from a race, but she's always there. You have Julian Alfred.
Alfred, man.
They may not have to be as fast as they were last year to get a sweep, but they need to be pretty close, and that's going to be hard to do.
I don't know. I'm starting to just we see all these runners running. If you haven't run by now, there's something up. It's not early season anymore.
Right.
We're in like the beginning of peak season.
It's June.
Right? We should get a t-shirt called It's June.
It's June.
And we should wear it in July. And it'd be ironic.
Ooh, put that in the Gordon Good idea list.
Wearing a It's June shirt in July.
I mean, I could see someone doing that and I'd be like, what's this guy's deal? But I could just see that becoming popular amongst the Gen, what are you on, Zoomers?
Are we on Gen Y? No, Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Did this go back to Gen A then?
I don't know.
Gen Z?
That's a good question. Well,
or does it go to numbers? Is it Gen 0, Gen 1?
You'll have to make it to the next generation to find out.
It's like you're in an Excel sheet, and once you get all the way to Z, then it goes AA. Gen AA.
Gen A. That's not a good one. Don't do that.
But there actually might be a Gen A.
That's bad. Yeah. Good thing you workshopped that before you said it out loud.
All right, let's move over to Hengelo.
Hengelo.
Sifan Hassan impresses. She runs world-leading 10K.
Yeah.
After winning the London Marathon. Let's remember, she won the freaking London Marathon. She trained to be a marathoner. Then 5 weeks later, she won the world lead in the 10K, which requires speed, believe it or not.
It does.
And you know what requires even more speed? Running 3:58 in a 1500. Because you see it from this clip here. Sifan Hassan, 24 hours after running world lead, 29:37 in a 10K, runs 3:58, which is, top 8 quality in the world level running. There was a moment where I was like, is she gonna get beat by this kid? She's like 18 or something like that when she a teenager. who's racing her. I was like, oh wait, maybe there's set, but no, Sifan Hassan, she still has the wheels. Despite training for a marathon, she can still close phenomenally and run 3:58 in a 1500. What can't she do, man?
First of all, when is the last time you've seen someone do two distance events at a non-championship meet?
Yeah.
Like a Diamond League or a Continental Tour. Pre-Classic always does the distance night and the other stuff. You never see anybody doubling back. Of course, Sifan Hassan does it because she signs up for every race. What's more impressive? That she could go and run a 10K and then a 15 back-to-back, less than 24 hours rest, and close it with 3:58? Or that the woman who just won the London Marathon in mid-April can be in 3:58 shape by the beginning of June?
What I want. This is what I want.
Answer the question, Gordon.
It's the latter.
Okay, me too. That's what I was...
And the reason why it's the latter is we need to do this. We need to get the top 20 marathoners, American, international, all the Kenyans, all that. Like we want Emily Sisson. We want D'Amato. We want all the Kenyans and Ethiopians. And we want them all run a 1500.
And just see what
and
they can do. And
you're going to see them all run like 4:12.
Yeah.
And Sifan Hassan is going to beat them all by 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is just insane. And everyone will be like, well, yeah, I only can run 4:12 in a 1500 because I'm training for a freaking marathon.
Yeah.
Well, Sifan Hassan is changing the rules. The same way Wade Van Niekerk said you can break world records in lane 8. Mm-hmm. Sifan's saying is just because you're training for the marathon doesn't mean you lose your speed.
But she seems to be the only one who can benefit from that rule.
For sure. Yeah.
Most people can't.
Yeah.
Most people's hamstrings would be in a pile of dust if they tried to do what Sifan Hassan did. I'm with you. I think the more impressive thing is we have a London Marathon winner against a really good field. 218 comes and can shift into track form. Because you're right, the 10K does take speed, but nothing compared to the 1500. That's just a whole different mentality, a whole different approach to be able to do it.
And we would be impressed if she ran like 4:03.
I would. Especially coming off the 10 the night before. It's just
cruise with 4:03, 4:05. But she ran 3:58, man.
She's built to do just crazy, extraordinary things. That's the only way I can describe it. There's just none of the normal laws about rest or range apply to Sifan Hassan at all. They just don't. I know there was one. She did the triple at the Olympics and then got so tired that it lasted into 2022. That's the only time in the last 5 years when we've seen Sifan Hassan react normally to anything. Everything else is just ridiculously impressive.
So she currently is top 8 in the 1500.
Yeah.
She's top 1 in the 10K.
Yeah.
And her marathon time is top 4. Has anyone ever been top 8 in the same year of the marathon, 10K, and 1500? She'll be top 8 in the 5K when she runs a 5K. Okay. She could be top 8 in everything.
And listen, she's not going to get it because someone else will get it, but that's the type of thing that should win you Athlete of the Year.
Yeah.
For World Athletics.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's more impressive than one world record.
That's just bizarre. Now, not taking away from the Kipyegon and everything, but just the unique nature of that. Like if she ends the year top, now that 1500 will,
she'll have to run.
She'll drop down.
Yeah.
But she said she's 5 and 10, or maybe just 10 at Worlds is what I saw after. Let's keep it going. Let's switch from Hangalo just to some other. We have 3 other results we want to talk about, and then we'll get into the NCAA preview where you're going to give 5 events to watch. I'm really excited about that. First up, Shanti Jackson, high school record in the 100. She ran 10.89. Gordon gets that U.S. high school record. 0.9 wind, ran against a field of pros, beat all them. So future is bright for Shanti Jackson, who I'd run really well in the 60, run really well in the 200, but you put the distance that people know you can associate greatness with is the 100
and sub 11,
and sub 11.
Okay, so here's my question for her. No, for you about her.
Yeah.
Last time someone broke the high school record in the 100, you know who it was?
Brianna Williams.
No, did she?
Yeah, isn't Williams 1 and then it's Candace Hill 2?
Well, I was thinking Candace. I was thinking when Candace Hill broke it. Sorry.
Okay, so you got that wrong. Go ahead.
I got that wrong. But when Candace Hill broke the record, she went pro, right?
Yeah.
With the way people are running fast all over the world, is this a mark that will entice sponsors to draw her away from going to college?
Oh, I think absolutely there'll be offers there.
Do you think she'll take the offers?
I don't know. I mean, she's going to Arkansas. They got a pretty good setup there. Pretty good track record of turning fast people into even faster people. I mean, Batman, her dad, I'm sure he's got a ton of experience on knowing how the college side of things work and, of course, the professional sides of things work. You're right, though, but, I mean, that's a really, really amazing time. Is it a guarantee of like a certain amount of money? I don't know. I don't know where the market is at these days. Like that's a tough thing to forecast. But anytime you get under 11 seconds, you're talking about, all right, this person's in U.S. finals. This person's in Diamond Leagues. But yeah, I'm not sure in terms of what that could garner and how do you balance that versus going to college.
I think that we see people go right to pro. I mean, Lyles did it. Drew Hunter, Candace Hill, a few others. Who's a sprinter? I mean, Knighton.
There's a lot.
There's a lot, right? Yeah. And sometimes it makes sense because like you all of a sudden year 1 or year 1.5 you already are like top 8 in the world type person. Yeah. But sometimes it doesn't work out and you're just kind of like another guy or another girl. I do think though for someone like Shante Jackson, that's like, yes, you could go pro, but just do like a year of college for fun. Win a couple NCAA championships. Experience that. Yeah, do what a thing Mo did, or do what Donovan Brazier did, or just go 1 year. Enjoy the college life. Because at the end of the day, you're still 18, 19 years old.
I mean, you've been to Fayetteville. Yeah. The facilities, both indoor and outdoor.
Yeah.
And what they got going on. It's hard to replicate other places. Yeah, I mean, you could find a spot, but it's hard.
And your running career, it's going to benefit your running career too. Like 1 year at Arkansas is going to be additive than 1 year pro training in wherever you're from. Like, I just think that you're not really losing much out on because you're still going to be able to compete at the championships. The only thing you're not going to get is a year's worth of money sponsorship, right? But
who knows?
How long do you plan on living till? 80, right?
Me personally, I would have her.
Say you were making money
120.
Say you go pro at 20, you're making money for 30 years of your life.
This sounds like nostalgic Gordon. Gordon wants to go back to college.
No, making money for 29 years.
Don't grow up too fast. Yeah. Cherish every moment.
No, I just think that she should go to college for 1 year, not 2. 2's too much.
Well, and
2's too much.
I think she should do whatever she wants, personally.
Yes, 100%. Do whatever you want, but 2's too much.
Do what makes you happy. I think NIL might change this too.
Yeah.
There's that factor. Casey Lightfoot, American record in the pole vault. Out in Nashville, right? Music City. What do we go? 6:07. Yeah.
Had the world lead for like a day.
I know, and then Mondo went.
Then Mondo's like, nope, sorry. Can't have that. Can't have that right now.
Mondo, pretty soon, when he has the top like 100 marks of all time, he's looking for new things to do. He's just going to be at home, and he's just going to have the ability, whenever anybody sets a world lead or gets somewhere close,
go in his backyard,
to immediately like mobilize a meet that's certified and just go and do it. And
do one attempt and be like,
he like goes down to the bat cave, like calls up Alfred, who like sets up the pit and everything like that, and then just does it, and then he's like goes back. Like that's the only thing that's gonna keep him going. But not to take away from Lightfoot.
No,
great.
Yeah, I mean that 6:07 that's medalist contention.
Yeah,
at the world level. I mean,
we're just spoiled because you look at the Mondo mark and you're just like, oh, what is
Mondo's
this? What is it?
6.2 and you're at 6.0.
You forget that 6 used to be a big deal in a competition.
6:07. And it's a legit record that Mondo at one point had.
Yeah.
Because Mondo at one time had the American record, ironically, as a Swede, which was fun. So big ups for Casey Lightfoot. Also, Mount Rushmore of track and field names.
All in the Game mentions the 18-year-old Mattia Furlani wins the men's long jump at Hangalo FBK Games, 894 minus 0.7.
894. What the?
My second error of the pod. 824.
Like,
824.
He's my
U20 record. Compares him to Jaden Hibbert, who we're going to see this weekend in Austin. One more result, and then the NCAAs. Portland Track Festival, men's 1500. Now, a lot of people are talking about Cole Hawker. I'm going to talk about Eamon Kemboy getting it done, Campbell alum.
Dude.
Oh, wait, we didn't end up in Alabama? Eamon Kemboy?
Yeah,
It was Campbell and then Alabama.
No, Campbell then Arkansas.
Campbell and then Arkansas. But yeah, I just thought that was a good run for Eamon Kemboy. Everybody's talking Hawker.
Yeah.
You can talk about who you want.
I'm going to talk about
I just want to
Hawker.
give Eamon Kemboy a little bit of props here. Like, he ran through 34. That's fast too.
Yeah, that's good. It's also 3:34. It's not 3:30, so we can't
Correct.
go crazy. But
Put that on the shirt.
the two things I took from this: one, Cole Hawker, he had a great kick. He was like in 12th place and then ran down the field. So we know Hawker is healthy. This is his first race since like January.
Mm-hmm.
So there was concerns of like what's going on with Hawker. This performance alone automatically just makes me think 2021 Hawker vibes. And I'm like, all right, Hawker, you're a lock for top 3. He went from like, I don't know if this guy has it. It might have been a flash in a pan, but this one performance immediately vaults him in the top 3, in my opinion.
So you have Nagoose, Tier, and Hawker?
But then you also have Hobbs.
Yeah.
So this all of a sudden made the 1500 not a cut and dry. Here are the best 3. We know it's going to be these.
The
3.
men's 1500 in the U.S. the last couple of years has not been as exciting as it is
This
now.
got exciting because then you also have the other factor, Mr. Matthew Senchowitz,
Yeah.
who a week after we said, watch out, 336.
He's back.
I think we showed that 336 isn't as what a 336 normally is because he got dead last in this race, 338. What are your thoughts on Centro? Does this performance, Centro losing to Maggard, Engels, Wynn, Hunter, Prakel, Gregoric, and Hawker? That's a lot of Americans ahead of him.
Yes. It's not the time. It's where you're at in the pecking order
Yeah.
that matters. We always get caught up on, this person's on the comeback trail. How fast can they run? But if you're measuring success on, hey, are they going to make some teams? Then you got to figure out a way they're going to get in the top 3. And it's tough now. I'm kind of surprised he raced. I thought, okay, he does a 336. He'll keep it low key for a while before he runs again. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I was a little surprised. I thought the trajectory was going to keep going up. I mean, credit to him for racing, shows that he's healthy, I guess. But yeah, with how good Hawker ran, and I mean, Gregoric's right there too. It's definitely a shift in where he's at in the U.S. Right? Because he was right behind Gregoric and Prakel when they ran at LA Grand Prix. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
If he duplicated that and you had him in 6th in this race because he beat Hunter last time too, correct? Then I think, all right, now he's 2 seconds faster than he was, and he's in that same range.
So I would say this. After this race, this is my official top 10 men's 1500 meter rankings.
Yeah,
in the
go
US.
for it. Yeah, hit it.
Number 1, Cooper Tier. Number 2, Yar Nagoose. 3, Hawker. 4, Kessler. 5, Gregoric. 6, Prakel. 7, Eric Holt. Still believing in Holt. 8, Paul Ryan. 9, Henry Wynn. And 10, Matthew Senchowitz.
Keep him at 10. All right. Well, listen, if you told him 2 months ago, would you take 10?
Yeah.
His fans take 10. I think you take 10, especially because he's talking about this being a run up to 2024.
So you know where I got?
He might run out of time for 2023. That just might be the reality of it. But it's also a really good year for the U.S. in the 1500.
You know where I got that top 10 list?
From the FloTrack rankings.
Which,
Is that the surprise?
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So we just released the U.S. rankings 1 month out. We weren't going to do this, but I said, we're doing it anyway. I ranked every event, 100 all the way to decathlon. So go to FloTrack.com, check out the rankings. They're on the homepage, all top 10. But I want to say, pick an event, and I'll tell you what we have. What's a fun event that I want to give me like 2 or 3 events. I'll tell you our top 10, and then you can dunk on the rankings and say how.
Well, let's just do 100 because I know you're going to be way off.
Men's or women's?
Men's.
So men's 100. We'll start bottom. Number 10, DeMarcus Fleming from LSU. 9, Kyrie King. 8, Williams from Oregon. 7, Kenny B. 6, Trayvon Bromell. 5, Cravant Charleston. He's running really well.
Yeah, he's in.
4, Marvin Bracey. 3, Noah Lyles. 2, Christian Coleman. And 1, Fred Curley.
Now I understand why you're just pumping up Coleman because you had him second.
Well, that's where I learned that he's deserved to be second.
Promoting the rankings. Well done.
You want another event?
Women's 400.
Women's 400.
Who's in it?
I did
I just want to see.
number 10, Kennedy Simon. 9, Mackenzie Dunmore. 8, Whiteland Jonathas. 7, Kendall Ellis. 6, Jermisha Arnold. 5, Talitha Diggs, Florida. 4, Rosie Effong from Arkansas. 3, Lena Irby, Jackson. 2, Britton Wilson. And 1, Sydney McLaughlin.
Oh, so she's in the rankings. That's what I was wondering.
I took her out of the 400 hurdles, though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because she's not going to run 400 hurdles at USA's.
Who's number one in the
400 hurdles?
Yeah.
Brenton Wilson.
Okay, good. You got that one right.
Yeah. So check them all out. All the rankings are there. Any other?
No, that's all I wanted.
I had
to know.
Sha'Carri 1 in the 100. I had Steiner 1 in the 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty good. Fun rankings. Check
All
them
right, let's preview NCAA's. Kicks off on
You should
Wednesday.
make a graphic of the rankings of each one and post it out and get people talking.
Each one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, let me just put that down on my notes. Things to
All
do.
right. The reason why we're doing this pod is because the NCAAs is this weekend. Right?
Yes, that's usually why we do pods that correspond to events. Starts Wednesday, goes through Saturday here in Austin.
There's a coaches social happening tomorrow.
Gordon has his 5 events to watch. Put the microphone down. Don't bang it. Don't make any extra noise.
Are you going to go to the coaches social?
Yeah. Let's go.
What?
Cook. Yeah.
I want to talk
number 1.
Okay.
Or number 5. However you want to do it.
So what's the segment again? Let's redo the segment. Let's redo this clip, Kevin. Sorry, I was still reminiscing about the gloriness of spending 48 hours making rankings and you for to be like, cool.
Well, you were talking about it as a surprise.
It was a surprise.
I thought you made shirts or something. To be honest.
I ranked like 500 athletes.
It's great. I'd already seen it. That's why. I was like, I looked at when you posted it.
And when you saw it,
oh.
you didn't even text me and be like, good job with the rankings?
Well, dude, I texted you so many good jobs this weekend.
I thought the
ran
gift
out.
that you sent me was in reaction to those rankings, but it wasn't.
Oh, well, okay. Sorry.
I worked really hard on them.
You did great. I'm happy.
There's an algorithm.
You just said a surprise. I didn't think the surprise was you.
That I worked over the weekend making rankings?
Yeah, because you've done rankings a lot. All right.
Okay.
NCAA championships, 5 events to watch. Let's start with the men's side of things. No,
we're not starting with the men's side of things. We're just starting with the number 5 event to watch, which happens to be a men's event. Actually, I'll take that on. Let's do that segment again.
Go ahead.
You want to do the clip.
I'm going to look at the chat over here.
You want to do the clip.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, top 5 NCAA events to watch. I ranked them. I went through all 42 events, and I picked the 5 best, and I ranked them in order. The 5th most exciting event this weekend in Austin, Texas, is going to be the men's 1500. Why, you may ask? Because we have no idea what's going to happen. And there's a lot of times where we have events where anybody can win it, like the men's 800 at the world level. But that's also a detriment to the quality of the event because anyone can win it because no one is good, is typically what happens in anyone's race because no one is good. But this is different. This is anyone can win it, but everyone is good. So it's more fun. That means there's going to be someone who gets 6th in this race who probably could have won it and is probably deserving of can run like 3:34. You know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So looking at the list of athletes, I think that it's going to be very hard to predict. I bet you will not be able to successfully pick 2 people who finish in the top 3. Can you do that?
No, I'm not even going to try. Can you?
So you have Masadi, who I have ranked 1, Wascom 2. I have.
All right, I'll take those 2.
I think one of those 2 won't finish in the top 3.
I'll trust your rankings and go with those 2.
I have the South Carolina kid 3, Isaac Baston 4, who I think is going to win.
Your guy.
Ezekiel Ropp 5, who his coach thinks is going to win. Jeremy texted me, he's like, watch out for Ropp. So I'm going to. That's why I ranked him 5th.
Watch out.
Luke Hauser, Washington 6. He's good.
So coaches just need to text you and then
the coach texts me, up the rankings. Boom. You want to be number 1? Just say be number 1. Actually, when you ask, most coaches ask me to not rank their athletes.
Yeah.
Because they like pretending that everyone is against them.
Yeah.
You should see the text I got the other day. I was like, bro.
From who?
I can't tell you. I'll tell you after the pod. But I was like,
what's their name start with?
Low.
Is it a team thing or a
yeah, it was a thing where I was like, no, you're too good to be. It's like, stop it. They're living in fairy tale land, pretending like their team isn't good.
Okay.
Jesse Hunt 7, North Carolina, and Nathan Green 8, Washington. I think it's just like the Washington guys are there. You got Baston from Drake. You have Oklahoma State. You got South Carolina. It's just going to be a very fun race. I don't know how it's going to play out. It could be super slow, a 3:45 race. It could be quick in 3:35. And I think it's just a very unknown. And whoever wins this race is, I think there's probably 2 to 3 people in this field who will be in the Olympics next year and be in the world final in 2025. That's how good I think this field is. Underrated. So that's number 5. Number 4, you ready?
Yeah.
Sticking on the men's side, men's 200. Why? Because we're going to see something stupid happen in the men's 200. We've already had a lot of stupid 200-meter races. And by stupid, I mean ridiculously fast times with ridiculous wind, stuff that's not normal coming from collegiate kids, 18 to 22, unless you're Arian Knighton, who's just a unicorn on his own. But I just think the men's 200 is going to be the one sprint event to watch on the men's side that's going to be very exciting. You got Robert Gregory, who's run 19.6. You have Bowling, the indoor champion, who's not even like ranked anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You have Javante Harding, who's a fast guy. You have the Texas Tech guys, Jones and Lindsay, Stanford. It's just, there's a lot of, Massimo Ganwi of Houston. Yeah. So I'm just excited for that. I think they're all going to push each other. And I think, bearing we got win legal, I think we're going to see like a win legal like 19.7.
Yeah.
And for perspective, Noah Lyles was ran 1967. So
last time they meet with Sierra, the sprints were fast.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be just as fast. It
was done earlier in the day, so it was even hotter, but it's still going to be hot.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 o'clock.
Under the lights.
Here. Yeah, it's just going to be under lights. That's it. All right, number 3.
Number 3 event, women's 5K, for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's going to be Caitlin Tui trying to secure the double because I think Tui's going to win the 1500 easily earlier in the day. She'll be coming for the double, which doesn't really happen. 15 5K double is not a commonly done double. We kind of are just pretending it's normal. We got like, oh yeah, she's doing it. Yeah. It's like, no, they do the 5-10 double. They don't do the 15-5 double.
Yeah.
I would love to see someone do a 10-15 double in honor of Sifan, someone. Tui could have done it. So I'm excited to see Tui go for the double, but ultimately it's rematch time. Tui versus Valby. From Cross. Valby is kind of have a wild post-cross season. So her indoors, she was low-key, then pulls out of indoors. Then she kind of still continues to stay low-key, runs a couple races here and there, wins SECs, but like barely. She got closed on, but was able to hold on to the lead. It's going to be interesting seeing Valby go up against Tui. Tui, I think, is a heavy favorite. Valby's going to have to come up with some unique strategy to kind of break Tui, take advantage of the fact that Tui's coming off of a 1500 in the hot weather. So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited to see the little gamemanship between Tui and Valby, especially now that they've raced each other a couple times. And it's kind of weird. Tui she's won a lot, right?
Yeah.
Valby has yet to get hers.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a little bit of more.
Yeah, she's still early in her career.
Yeah, Valby, but I know Valby's. Let's be honest. Would Valby rather win this race or not win this race and then win 3 NCAA championships next year without Tui in the field?
3 is more than 1, so I'll go with 3.
But 3 against a weaker field versus 1 against Tui?
No, you'd still take 3. Well, I think what's interesting.
What about 2? 2 next year, not against Tui versus 1 this year.
2 is still greater than 1. I can show you the math later. What I think is interesting is Tui was so dominant indoors with the 3 and the 5, but it's just different because it's on different days. Like it's very tough, and we'll talk about it later on with Britton Wilson. It's just tough to bounce back that same day. Some people can have an easy time with it still, but it's gonna be taxing. Like you shouldn't underrate how difficult that is on the same day. Totally different.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Who are you taking? Tui?
Tui, I think, is gonna get the sweep.
Sense.
Yeah.
But hey, I'll be cheering for Valby to make it a good race. That's what I want to see. So, number 2, the second most exciting event. It's not the women's long jump. However, I want to give them a shout out because women's long jump's going to be good with Jasmine Moore and Claire Bryant versus Akila Smith.
Yeah.
Texas versus Florida. It's going to be the team battle right there. If you don't want to watch any of the meet, just watch the women's long jump and you'll find out who won.
Well, and also triple, too. So Jasmine Moore can get both of them. And also, while we're on field events, Jaden Hibbert. Yes. I want to see what he does for Arkansas in the triples. He get another U20 record. Guttermson. He was rolling indoors.
This is classic track and field. I said we'll pick 5 events, and then I picked a moment to be like, and these 4 other things.
Yeah. Nicholas Alekna. Yes. Throw the heck out of the discus.
Kyle Garland in the decathlon.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Kyle Garland.
Kyle Garland.
Yeah.
Hope we see his dad again.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
You can wear the shirt?
I should wear the shirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear the shirt. All right. The actual number 2 most exciting event is the women's 100. And it's not the event. It's just Julian Alfred. Because I think we're going to see Julian Alfred break the collegiate record. She's going to break Sha'Carri's record on the same track that Sha'Carri ran. I think it's going to be extremely fast. And she's going to go for... It's not going to be like, whoa, you broke the collegiate record. It's going to be like, whoa, you might be gold medal
So that would
Person.
mean you're talking.
She's gonna run 10.
A 6 is involved
She's
there.
gonna run 10:69.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, even if she goes 10:70, you'd talk about potential.
She's gonna run 10:69.
Okay.
She's gonna run 10:69 with 2.2 wind, and so it's gonna be a little like what? Or she'll run like 10:71 with 2.0 wind or something like that. But yeah, I'm excited for that race. On her home track, Texas women are gonna win the team title. I mean, there's a chance they lose, but they're gonna win. But there's always a chance to lose. But they're just so much better. They have so much depth, and it's all on the backs of Julian Alfred, who's going to be in the 1, the 2, 4x1, and maybe in the 4x4. But she has the record in the indoor 60 and the indoor 200.
Yeah.
And she has the 4x1 record.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't have the 1 or the 2 record.
Mm-hmm.
She has the ability to get it. And I think she might be able to walk off this track with 5 collegiate records, which is insane.
Yeah.
So, and especially in the marquee events, the 60, the 200, the 100, the 4x1. When you think of track and field, you think of sprinting. And if she's able to walk away from her collegiate career with 5 records senior, it would be incredible. So I'm thinking 10:69, collegiate record watch. I don't care. I don't even know who's going to finish second, Sears or Long or whoever. It doesn't matter. It's all about Julian Alfred. If you're in the
big favorite,
I feel like even the other 7 athletes on that starting line are going to be like, what do we do?
I remember last time it was here, and it was the complete opposite. It was a wide open field. They were talking about how fast it was going to take to win that race. Like Tiana Daniels at the press conference, Kayla White was talking about it. And then Richardson won it, and the time was shocking because even though people were talking about a fast time, nobody thought it was going to be that fast.
Yeah. When Sha'Carri won, was that out of nowhere? Because I think Daniels was the favorite. Right?
Well, there was Tanisha Cherry was in there as too. Like it was deep, it was balanced, but there was a thought that Daniels could get it done.
Sha'Carri was just like another one of the SEC women who kind of is like in the mix. She wasn't. Whoa, watch out! Right? Did she win SECs?
Let me pull it up. Let's go back in time. So she ran a 10:99 at East. I remember that being East prelims. I mean, yeah, she won SECs. Wind aided 2.1. Wind aided 11.0. But it was tough because
she was in the elite tier of like one of these 4 are gonna win.
She got 7th in the 60 indoors.
She's not a good 60 runner though.
And then like Texas Relay, she ran 10:91.
That was okay. Yeah, I remember that.
But like it was. Let me pull up this 100 list. Who was in this? Richardson, White, Terry, Daniels, Kiara Parker, Kiara Grant, Anellis, and Seymour. So yeah, there was any one of those top 4. I think could have we're getting spoken about, and Richardson just. I mean, she won by 2 10s, celebrating her. Like it wasn't close at all.
I remember watching that. Yeah. I was at the beach.
I was working the meet. Anyway, last one.
All right, the number 1 event, and it's gonna be an event where the winning time is not even gonna be fast. The winning time is going to be like, all right, but it's going to be the women's 400-meter hurdles because Bryn Wilson will be coming off of 27 minutes prior, probably running 49 seconds in a 400 because it's going to take her to run. She's going to have to run 49 mid or low to win the 400 this year because Diggs, Adeleke, the other Arkansas girl, Ifang, who's have ranked in the top 5 in U.S. rankings. Check them out on FloTrack. But she's going to have to run 49.5 to low, and I think that's all going to happen. I think Bryn Wilson's going to win the 400. She's the best 400 meter, one of the best 400 meter runners in the world right now. So it's not about her in the 400. You're going to see it, 49, cool. But then you're going to have 27 minutes of Bryn Wilson just being like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I got to run 400 hurdles. And she's probably going to run 54 or 55, maybe narrowly gets the win. But watching a woman run 49 seconds, take 25-minute break, and then run 400 hurdles at the highest level you can at the NCAA level, it's going to be fun to watch. Like, she's running an 800. She's sprinting an 800 over 27 minutes. It's like insane.
I'm curious how much simulation they've done for this. I'm assuming they've done
practiced it
at practice something similar to it. Maybe it wasn't a quarter, maybe it was a 300 or a 350 or something. Just because that is such a small amount of rest.
Conspiracy. I'll continue.
They haven't practiced it?
No, I have an idea.
Well, what I was going to say is because she's done this on short turnaround before, but this is only one event in between. What's your conspiracy?
So what's the event that's in between?
It's the 8, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Arkansas have an 800-meter runner?
Oh, you're saying just go out and jog? I was thinking in one of the events, just a bunch of false starts in the 4 hurdles, but that doesn't work because then you get DQ'd. I think.
Imagine if they had someone qualify for the 8 and her job was just to like
run 4 minutes.
Run a 4-minute 800.
I think the 400 hurdles obviously it's her just against fatigue at that point. No disrespect to anybody else in the field, but she's 2 seconds clear of everybody else.
That's a lot in a 400.
The really good race, even though she is the favorite, is open quarter because of how fast Adeleke and Diggs are.
Yeah.
If it was flipped around, and maybe they looked at this ahead of time and they knew this going in, but if it was flipped around, then it would be
so much harder.
So much of a much steeper climb. I think she would have a shot at doing it, but it would be much more difficult. So you're right. The attention is going to go to the second event, but if you're looking just for a great 1 or 2 person race, it's the quarter. Because standalone, that quarter is going to be great.
Yeah.
4 hurdles is going to be great because of the history that will happen if she crosses the line first. I still can't believe she's doing this. Like, we're in the final stretch for the meet. I still can't believe this is happening. Makes me so happy. I love doubles. I'm so happy right now. Just so happy.
And, we're going to
Can you see my face?
Yeah. We're going to have 4 big doubles. And Moore, Alfred, Tui, and Wilson. Mm-hmm. So.
All right. Those are Gordon's 5 events to watch. He also wants to do his rapid-fire picks. So go ahead. I'm going to cap this at 2 minutes. Gordon's going to pick every single event. Are you ready?
Hold on. Okay.
On your mark. Get set. Go.
Okay, hold on. Start over. I need to put out a warning that I'm not going to say these people's names correctly. Because if I'm going fast, I'm just going to be...
Just say
I'm going to say bad. I'm going to say names.
Just do like last names.
Yeah, but the last names are hard too. I'm just saying I want to get it out there that I'm going to say a lot of names wrong, and it's not on purpose.
Well, do your best.
Okay, start
Ready?
the timer again.
Set, go.
Men's 100.
Gosh, pathetic.
Dude, I have dyslexia.
What?
I want to say his name.
Oh.
Onwuzurike.
Ododi? Onwuzurike.
Ododi. Got it. All right, start over. Start the timer.
All right, ready, set, go.
Men's 100, Ododi. Men's 2, I'm going to say Gregory. Men's 4, Godwin. Men's 110 hurdles, Gianna Roberts, Clemson. 400 hurdles, Owens Delamar, the heptathlete from Arkansas. 100, Alfred. 200, Alfred. 400, Wilson. 100 hurdles, I'm going with Armstrong over Masai Russell. Women's 400 hurdles, Wilson.
That's sprints and hurdles.
Sprints. All right, so distance. Men's 800. I'm going to say Bizimana. I want to say Anderson, but I'm going to go with Bizimana. Actually, no, screw it. Anderson. Let's have some fun. Mississippi State's Anderson. He's going to take the win. Men's 1500, Isaac Baston. Come on. Men's 5K, Brian Fay. Men's 10K, Casey Klinger. Men's 3K steeple, Duncan Hamilton. Women's 800, Claire Seymour. Women's 15, Tui. Women's 5K, Tui. Women's 10K,
Run out of time.
Evelyn Kemboy, Utah Valley. Women's 3K steeple, Olivia Markovich, Notre Dame. Field events, high jump, Vernon Turner. Pole vault, Goodersmid. Long jump. Carrie McLeod, Arkansas. Triple jump, Jaden Hibbert, Arkansas. Shot put, Jordan Geist, Arizona. Hammer throw, Jordan Geist, Arizona. Get the double. Get him on the Bowerman list. Discus throw, Alekna, California. Javelin throw, Ethan Dabbs, Virginia. Decathlon, Kyle Garland. Women's high jump, Lamar Diston, Texas A&M. Pole vault, Arkansas, Amanda Fasold. Long jump, I'm going to hold that one. Triple jump, Jasmine Moore.
Need a pass.
Shot put, we're doing Van Klinken, Oregon. Hammer throw, We're doing Ratcliffe, Harvard. Discus throw, Van Klinken, Oregon. Another doubler.
No, not add to the list.
Add to the list. Javelin throw. Ooh. Madison Wiltrout, North Carolina. Heptathlon. Allie Jones of Christine Blazovica of Texas on her home track. And then women's long jump. Jasmine Moore or Akele Smith. I'm going with Smith of Texas. I think this is going to be Moore's first loss. I think Moore loses the long jump. So I'll go with Akela Smith of Texas for the long jump.
What about the relays?
Relays. Thank you, man. Relays.
Yeah.
Women's 4x1, Texas. Women's 4x4. So this is hard.
I think it's easy.
It's not.
It's easy. It's Arkansas.
You think Wilson's going to run?
Even if she doesn't run, they're fine.
Texas is good. Texas beat them.
Arkansas is going to win.
Texas.
Lance Harder's last event?
Yeah. Arkansas because
gonna
Texas isn't going to try because they'll have the team title racked up.
They'll try, but they're not going to
rest everyone. So, yeah, Arkansas women, Texas women in 4x1. Men's 4x1, this is hard. I want to say LSU.
This is not hard.
But like Florida, man, they showed up. You know what Florida did? When Florida won the 4x1 here in 2019.
They did. I remember that.
And I think they're going to win it again. Florida over LSU. I'm taking it.
4x4?
4x4.
Florida.
Not necessarily. Georgia's good.
Okay. Then make a pick.
Alabama. You know what? Let's end it with Georgia. Georgia.
Teams?
Texas women. Arkansas men.
All right. There you have it.
Did it. Don't even need to watch the event. That's the event right there.
That was awesome. That's the show.
I'm going to go 44 for 44.
That's the show.
What if I got everyone right?
Thanks for you bring that up every time, and yet by day one.
It's like getting the perfect bracket.
You didn't mention men's steeple. That's gonna be good. Along with women's high hurdles. I know we capped it at 5, and then it turned into 8, and then now it's 10. But men's steeple, women's high hurdles is gonna be good too.
Yeah, because women's high hurdles is 3 women: Nugent, Armstrong, and Russell. And then men's steeple, you got Hamilton versus Rooks.
The Hamilton Rooks battle,
which could be a preview of USA's because there's no Hillary Bohr at USA's. We could be watching the two.
Yeah.
We could be watching future teammates.
Yeah. You should ask them that.
Maybe they'll strategize together through this race and be like, all right, let's.
Hey, do you guys ever think about being on the same team?
Do you think they'll do a rock, paper, scissors, shoot as they cross the finish line?
No, I think
whoever loses gets doesn't win NCAAs, and the other person gets to win USA's?
I think they want to win NCAAs.
If you had to choose.
We'll be out the track on Wednesday, so stay tuned to our YouTube page for more, and the site, all the social channels. We'll have some interviews. We'll have some recaps. We'll have some fun stuff going on. Again, Saturday morning is going to be we'll have a show then as well too, and then we'll recap it all next Monday. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to AG for producing. We'll talk to you guys next time. Saturday.
10 a.m. Central.
Later.
See you then.